Test 1, test 2. freshmen, but the majority of them will be, and we will detail those programs for you here this morning. Thank you also for those of you that have already scanned the QR code or clicked the link and sent your questions in. We will have a Q&A segment to close out CTE Live today, and we'll try to answer some of your questions live on this broadcast. Parents, we've heard from you as well, and if we don't get to all the questions today, which we likely will not, I will try to list a FAQ on our website, which is under the Central High School webpage. On behalf of Superintendent of Phoenix City Schools, Mr. Randy Wilkes, again, would like to welcome you to the broadcast here this morning. Principal Sylvia Averett of the Freshman Academy, Principal Carrie McDonald of Central High School. We can't wait for you guys to be on campus next year. Miss Allison Nicholas will be on campus. I will be on campus next week to give you another preview of your CareerTech offerings as well as your academic offerings for your freshman year. Today's broadcast is just to let you see and hear from some of our current CareerTech students so you can consider some of your options for CareerTech. Okay? In this next segment, I'm going to send it to a pre-recorded video made by some of our Red Devil Television, RDTV students. They're going to give you an introduction to our business pathway. We have, before the business pathway, let's hear from Coach Rose, Mr. Principal, Coach Rose, Alan Rose of South Girard. I don't know if Ms. Hubbard's available this morning, but we're going to send it to South Girard Bulldogs so you get a chance to hear from your principal. Before the business pathway, let's hear from Coach Rose, Mr. Principal, Coach Rose.
Hello students, this is Mr. Alan Rose. I'm the principal here at South Girard School. Welcome to our version of the CTE Live feed.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Glad to see you down there taking the reins at South Girard. I'm proud of my buddy, and you're going to do good things down at South Girard, Mr. Rose. Again, thank you. Now, we're going to segue to a video made by some of our current CareerTech students in our television production pathway. This is a little preview of the business programs. We have 3 pathways inside the business umbrella. That's business management and administration, that is marketing, and that is finance. And we're going to send it to RDTV Studios for that video now.
Hey guys, my name is Juliana and I'm in business finance. In this class, we learn how to manage a business, whether it's big or small. We also learn how to get certified in geometrics and PowerPoint and Word and Excel. My favorite project that we did in this class was when we went to state and we had to make posters for the football team. I'd say the most difficult part in this class would be trying to learn how to be certified in geometrics, because it's a lot of steps to it and we have to learn how to do each PowerPoint. This class is going to prepare me for the future, because if I learn to be certified in geometrics, it'll help me get a job because it shows that I have more skills.
Maybe I want to go enough on it, but like, you know, it gets a little bit heavy when I...
That one student in front of us.
There's that. There you go.
How do we know when to go? Welcome back to CTE Live. I'm here in the new engineering classroom, and we are in the robotics arena side of the house. There are 2 rooms that are part of the engineering pathway. What you're looking at right here, this is a VEX Robotics competition arena. This is one of the robots built by some of our robotics team. We've got Sarai and Nicholas here driving around the bots. This was the challenge for this year in VEX Robotics. This was the particular arena, the particular obstacles that we had to deal with. They change up the game every year. At the end of the current school year, they will unveil next year's competition arena. We will purchase that, and we will begin building robots that will be competitive and will bring home a VEX Robotics trophy to the campus of Central Freshman Academy and Central High School. All right? Now, to give you a preview of the rest of what our Project Lead the Way engineering program is all about, we'll send it back to RDTV Studios for a video on engineering.
Hi, my name is Griffin, and I am in the engineering program. I've taken all 4 classes and brainstorm ideas to solve different problems and figure out solutions. Usually we'll use the 3D printer if we want to create different ideas using CAD models, computer-aided designs. Later in the year, we'll be using the new annex building, and we'll have different CNC machines where we can drill holes and engrave different materials. We'll also have a laser cutter and a water jet to do the same thing. This class prepares me for different kind of scholarships, engineering courses later in the year for college, and it also prepares me for a future engineering career.
Lead the Way engineering program, that is one that is available to you next year as a freshman. It's a 4-course pathway leading up through your senior year. Some of you may have room in your schedule by your junior year, possibly, definitely your senior year, for you to take a couple of periods of robotics, in which case you would take the pre-scripted class in the pathway, and then you could also have an additional hour in the robotics arena perfecting your robot and getting ready for competition, so once again we can bring that trophy home to Phoenix City. All right, you saw the business pathways. The only one there, accounting, really kicks off your sophomore year, but in the business pathway, just to go back and refer to those, there are foundation courses that you have to take to, despite which pathway you choose, whether business administration, marketing, or finance, they all have a foundation course that applies in the sequence of those courses that must be taken before you can take any of the other courses. Those courses are BTA, Business Technology Applications. We call it BTA for short. That's the foundations class for the business management pathway, as well as finance. The foundations course for marketing is Business Essentials. Excuse me. So if you take those next year as a freshman, then you'll be well on your way to being a completer in a CareerTech business program, earning a CareerTech endorsement on your high school diploma by the time you graduate. All right, we've seen the engineering pathway. We're going to segue to another program that we have based out of our CareerTech Center. I'm going to show you 3 videos back to back to back that's going to detail our carpentry program, our welding program, and our masonry program. 3 very popular hands-on skills-based courses. Now those courses will not be available to you as a freshman. There is an age requirement, so they won't be available to you as a freshman. However, there is a construction-based course available to you next year as a freshman. It is called Safety and Health Regulations. It is a foundations course for any of those 3 pathways. So if you're interested in any of these videos you're about to see, next year the class you will take is Safety and Health Regulations. RDTV, take it away.
My name is Katie and I'm a welder in Central High School. When you first begin taking welding, you have to take around 4 tests for your safety and learning the equipment that you're going to use in the class when you actually start stick welding. After you have made 100 on all of your tests, you start by welding a T-joint. When you're welding the T-joint, you use a 60-10 rod in flat, vertical, and overhead position. And then afterwards, you start by using the next rod in all the same positions, and then you will do the cover pass. One of my favorite projects that I had to do in this class was I had to build a miniature box that was going to hold a welder and a cylinder, and the box was not that big, so I had to crawl up inside of it and weld in many different positions with a MIG gun, and it kind of showed me what it would be like in real life if I had to go on a job site or even at work. If I had to build something, that's what it would be like. Welding has prepared me for my future jobs in many ways. One main way is working with my classmates and working on many projects. I learned how to work with other people and get used to communicating when like building something and actually getting a hands-on experience and trial and error.
My name's Shayla Allen and I'm in masonry. My favorite project was to build a mailbox. What was hard about that was making the mortar stay on the brick. In class, we learned how to mix the mortar together and lay the bricks. Mr. McCrane makes the class fun for us and less confusing because when he is explaining, he makes sure you understand. I like this class because I wanted to learn how to lay bricks because I never knew how to. And I chose this class because if my mailbox or anything would break, I can fix it myself. We laid a ramp for the culinary arts food program so they can get their food in and out. And we also made a concrete picnic table. This class prepared me for the future because I already know how to build bricks, and I guess I can get a job, a masonry job, right when I get out.
Hi, my name is Dylan. I'm in Mr. Flippo's carpentry class, and pretty much what we do in this class is we do a lot of hands-on woodworking. We build a lot of stuff. I think probably the hardest thing in this class is kind of staying on topic and staying on task, because we do a lot of different things. From, we have some people drilling to some people, putting stuff together, and it's a lot of stuff going on at once. And my favorite thing that we do in this class is probably what we're doing right now. So we've built around 8 shooting houses, and I think we got about 4 more left. And the reason why I like this is because there's a lot to do at it. We have people laying tiles on top, and then we have people making sure everything's leveled and put together. And it's just a long process of a lot of things. It's really enjoyable once you get used to it. I believe that this class has prepared my future very well because it keeps me being very responsible and making sure everything is done correctly and done to the current standards of how everything should be now. It's very prominent that we stay on task, and I think that's a big thing that prepares me for my future.
Hi, my name is Griffin, and I am in the engineering program. I've taken all
Are we good?
Start over.
All right, let's try it again, guys. Live broadcast, anything can go wrong. That was carpentry, welding, and masonry. Again, those classes won't be specifically available to you as a freshman. You can start those pathways at your sophomore year. However, next year's course, if you are interested in a construction-based field, next year's course you will need to take safety and health regulations. Okay, I'm now standing in one of our healthcare rooms in the CareerTech Annex, and behind me you see the ambulance simulator. Okay, healthcare, health science I should say, is one of the programs that will be available to you as a freshman. If you are interested in being an EMT, working in the EMS line, being a registered nurse, being a traveling nurse, being a phlebotomist, then this could be the program for you. Next year, the course you will take is called Orientation to Health Science. In this ambulance simulator, you see we have a backboard. You will learn how to properly load patients onto this board, onto the stretcher. You will learn how to stock the ambulance. You'll learn how to operate inside of an ambulance. This is an emergency services course that is part of the health science pathway. Again, next year, if you're interested in a healthcare related profession, career, then the class for you is Orientation to Health Science.
Eli Gonzalez, one of our RDTV members, he's going to follow me down the hallway here because it's just a short little trip to our health lab. So behind me, you're going to see a few things you're familiar with. If you came through PCIS, I know you're familiar with the 3D computers, the Z-Space computers. We have a lab of those right here to my right. They have healthcare related software. You're familiar with those. You've seen those before, I'm sure. Through these doors, you enter the health lab. You will notice this looks exactly like a hospital ward. We have 12 beds, 6 on this side, 6 on the other. We have a patient in bay number 1 right here already. But this is part of our health science program, a couple of classrooms in the back. There is even what's called a patient simulator. There will be a mannequin similar to the one you see right here that can be programmed to exhibit different health-related symptoms. Your teacher can even be the voice of that mannequin by speaking through a microphone. You, as the healthcare student, will be charged with treating the patient properly. You'll be taught how to properly load patients in and out of their beds, load them in and out of wheelchairs. You'll be trained in and around some of the medical facilities here in the Phoenix City, Columbus, Georgia area. And all of our instructors that we have here in our CareerTech Center are currently registered nurses. So they've worked in the field, they lived in the field, they know what they're doing. And this will get you a good kickstart if you are interested in a healthcare related field. Next year, the class for you is Orientation to Health Sciences. Okay, at this point in time, we're going to send it back to the RDTV studios for a video on health science.
Hi, my name is Trinity Bing. I am a student in the healthcare program. I'm a senior. This is my 3rd year.
Cool.
There you go. Yep, that's it. I hope so, because I don't have any other ones set up.
During this program, I've done so many things. We did so many trips and everything. I really feel like this is a great program, one of the best programs at Central High School. It has prepared me for the future because it gives me real life experiences and examples of how it will when I eventually go on into the healthcare field.
Welcome back, Bulldogs. Health science is one of the kind of gemstones on the new CareerTech Annex. Can't wait to have you on board. Again, that class is available to you as a freshman next year, so please consider that opportunity. There's a lot of work involved in health science, so if you do choose that route, just be prepared to do the work when you get here, okay? Next program that I want to talk to you about is our newest program. It actually opened up this school year. Pathway is called Mechatronics, as in mechanical electronics. Okay, and it's a combination of those two worlds. It's mechanical engineering with a very, very heavy weighted electronic component, meaning you will learn in your first year general shop safety, how to use certain tools, particularly how to use wiring tools, strip wire, soldering. That's all part of the mechatronics pathway. In year 2, your sophomore year, you start learning AC and DC current. You will learn how to wire any and all receptacles available in any type of typical house. Okay, so the lights you see above you right now in your classroom, to the electrical outlets, the wall switches, even smoke detectors. You will learn how to wire those things, and then from there you get into a little bit of robotics and programming. There are automated arms that you will learn to program and to operate. The idea of this program is to prepare you for a job in the electrical industry, in the possibly the telecommunications industry, even becoming an electrical engineer. So that pathway is called Mechatronics. We're going to send it to the RDTV studios for that video now.
Hey, my name is Deontay Ware, and I take mechatronics. In mechatronics, we mostly focus on wiring, repair, and electricity. I'm most excited about I really want to get to the building part, like the hands-on part. I just want to see what that's like to get the experience. Like we work on like sockets, switches, and things of that sort. I think it's a lot of jobs that require those type of skill set, and not many people can do it. So it really can benefit in a lot of ways.
That's Mechatronics. Again, our newest program here in CareerTech. We just received about 7 different electrical trainers last week, and we have them set up in the classroom directly beneath where I'm sitting right now. Please consider that option as you're considering your schedule for your freshman year. But please be advised that option is a 2-period class. It's a block-based class. So if you had your 4 core classes next year, we run a 7-period day, so that gives you 3 periods left to choose from. If you go Mechatronics, 2 of those would fill that void, and it'd leave you still 1 left to choose, foreign language or PE or what have you. Okay, Mechatronics. Our next program that's available to you as a freshman is our ROTC program. A lot of high schools have ROTC programs. Ours is based out of the Naval Academy, so we are an NJROTC program. We have 3 instructors, and all of them are retired from the armed services. This is a 4-year program. After you successfully complete 3 years in the program, meeting the standards outlined for you, you will earn the NJROTC certification or credential. What that can do for you is, if you are considering a military career, that can allow you to enter any of the branch of the military at a higher rank, therefore a higher pay grade, if you complete the program successfully. Again, it is a 4-year program, but to earn the certification, you need to be in there for at least 3 and successfully complete the objectives of that course. Earlier this week, we had a cadet that did complete the program, earned his ROTC certification, and enlisted in the Coast Guard. And in doing so, because he had that ROTC certification, he got a $10,000 bonus. Just for showing up to school every day in high school, attending class, and doing what he was supposed to do. $10,000 in his pocket this week, and he's going to be serving in the U.S. Coast Guard. There are opportunities galore in CareerTech. Consider ROTC as you take a look at this video by RDTV.
Hi, I'm Jade Abrams. I'm the commanding officer at the Central High School Red Devil Battalion NJROTC unit. My favorite part about the program has got to be all of the friends that you make, and when you get to go to drill competitions, you get to travel and meet other people, make new experiences, things like that. We learn how to shoot air rifle. We get in really good shape with our physical fitness. Other than that, you learn how to like flip rifles, so that's really fun. My favorite activity has got to be air rifle, because I did not know how to shoot before I got into the program, so it was a totally new experience for me, so that was a blast. We're also starting a drone team, which is really new for the program, and it gives people that know drones and things like that, it gives them an opportunity to branch out and to really show their expertise.
That's our Navy Junior ROTC program. Please consider that option. And if you do choose that route, then our instructors will be in touch with you as early as the end of this current school year to talk to you about the orientation camp to get you ready for the upcoming school year. All right, the next program available to you as a freshman will be the one that's been producing this broadcast here today. That is our Television Production Pathway, affectionately known as RDTV, Red Devil Television. RDTV does anything from live broadcasts like this to producing each and every one of our Friday night football games, whether it's on the home game or on the road. We produced the first softball game live from the newly renovated complex here at Central High School and Central Freshman Academy. We have broadcast plays here at Central before. We've done the Black History program. RDTV is involved in just about every component of our school climate here on this campus. You can be in that program for all 4 years in high school. There's a number of different certifications that you can earn there. We have a young lady that will be graduating this year. She has been in the program since her freshman year, so she's got 4 years under her belt. She is going on scholarship to Troy University, and she is going to be running their social media for Troy University Athletics. It's incredible. All right, she has her certifications. She learned with the instructor, Mr. Tim Lorman, and she's ready to step out on her own and start making her mark on this world. Okay, television productions is a viable option I'd like for you to consider as you take a look at this next video by RDTV.
Hi, I'm Presley Holmes and I'm in television production. I'm the assistant football producer for the football broadcast on Friday.
Camera one, take camera one.
Take camera one. Replay.
That was Sterling Harris was one of the ones there.
During the games, I work in our production trailer that controls what the viewers at home see. I run the switcher, which controls the camera angles. I also work with an instant replay technician as well as a graphics designer. We also have 4 camera operators, including one on the sideline who gets close to the football players, our student section, and with the audience, all of which are outside of the trailer. Overall, we have a well-balanced team that works together to put out a broadcast every Friday.
Hi, I'm Sarah Wilson, and I'm in TV production, and I'm your social media coordinator. Some things about being the social media coordinator at Central High School is I'm always involved in sports and different clubs throughout the school. I produce social media content for many sports and clubs. This includes creating many hype videos and creating graphics that showcase our school and community in a positive way. I also have to maintain a unified brand across different social media platforms. Being in TV production prepares me for my future by teaching me how to network within my community and teaching me how to work within small and large groups.
That's RDTV. Please consider that option. This class is fun. It's the set that you see before you right now. Ms. Taylor down there at South Girard, I know she's done a lot of work to gear some of you up for this particular program, and we'd love to see you see it through. Take this class and be in here for all 4 years of high school. I think you'll have a lot of experience. You'll get to see a lot of things. You get to do a lot of things that the ordinary high school student would not get to do. We have produced things for the State Athletic Association. We have produced things for the State Department of Education. We have produced the Little League World Series when it came to Phoenix City. So all of those opportunities were afforded to students of this program, RDTV. So please consider television production next year, your freshman year. We're now going to go to the Q&A segment. A number of you, we asked the questions, South Girard, and a number of you have submitted your questions. We're going to go to the spreadsheet here to start with, and then we're going to kick it down to South Girard for some live questions. But first, let's not overlook the obvious. We had a few people. Miss Sky Smith was one of them, but Sky, you were not the only one that asked the obvious. What does CTE stand for? So let's start there. CTE is Career and Technical Education. Now look, I'm going to tell you something that you don't always hear from an educator. Educators like to tell you that you got to get ready to go to college. You've got to make this score and that score so you can go to this college or that college. And I'm here to tell you, you can't go wrong if that's your mindset. You can't go wrong there. Any training or education beyond high school can only improve your chances of a better quality lifestyle for yourself and your future families. Here's the caveat. You don't always have to go to a 4-year institution. I said it. You don't hear that from a lot of educators. You do not have to go to a 4-year institution to have a successful and a happy life. I'm here to tell you, I don't know a thing in the world about fixing my truck. I can change the oil, I can change the tire, but when it breaks down, I need you, someone trained, to fix my truck for me. All right, so there's those jobs available, and they're available right now. You can start those, an apprenticeship program in your high school career. You can turn that into a full-time job, okay? We need people. I'll give you an example. We had a young man that took a co-op job. He was part of our masonry program here at Central High School. He took a co-op job his senior year. His instructor, Mike McCrane, put him in touch with an electrical company, of all things. So through masonry, he found a part-time co-op job in an electrical company. As fate would have it, that electrical company, SM Ellis Electric, won the bid to do all of the electric work for this building that I'm sitting in right now. So this young man, his senior year, would report to this campus. He worked on this building in the mornings, and he finished his course requirements in the afternoons, and he graduated in the class of 2021. That young man has turned that opportunity into a full-time career. He did receive post-secondary training, and he's still receiving that. However, he's making money while he's doing that. So what is CTE? Career and Technical Education. Through these programs, we can get you ready for a future career that sends you to a 2-year or 4-year college when you leave Central. We can also put you in touch with an employer while you're in high school that could turn into a long-time job. So, Sky and many others that ask that basic question, that's what CTE is, Career and Technical Education. And the pathways are here. You just got to find your niche. You got to find the thing that drives you, that brings out the passion in you, and maybe, if you're lucky, you can spin that into a career. Let's go live to South Girard for our first question down there. South Girard.
Hi, Brett, go on, Lucky.
My name is Jalen Williams, and my question is, what do I have to do to get into masonry?
To get into masonry, well, next year as a freshman, the first year course that you will take as a freshman is called Safety and Health Regulations. In that program, you will be working on a certification that's known as the CAST. It's Construction and Safety Test is what it stands for. That is a industry recognized certification. You will also work on OSHA certifications. Those are all safety related things. As part of that class, you will get exposed to the masonry program, little bit of carpentry, little bit of welding. That way you can make a more informed decision your sophomore year, and that's when you officially enter into that masonry program under our instructor, Mr. Mike McCrane. South Girard, do we have any other questions?
My name is Talon Davidson, and as far as like CareerTech classes goes, are there limited opportunity for freshmen getting into the CareerTech classes?
Limited opportunity, well, as I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, there are certain programs that are limited due to your freshman status. There are age requirements. Auto tech, masonry, carpentry, welding, our dual enrollment HVAC course. Those are a few. Culinary arts, cosmetology. Those are things that are not available to you as a freshman. So if you're going to say, are there any limits? I guess that would be it as a freshman. But then as a sophomore, all of those are available to you. Some of those I will mention specifically: cosmetology, culinary arts. We only have one instructor for each of those programs, Miss Sophia Taylor in cosmetology, Mr. Chef John in culinary arts. And so those classes are pretty popular. They fill up pretty quick. So when you are considering your sophomore schedule, if you think you want to be part of those programs, there is a fee associated with those. And so those that sign up and those that pay the fee first typically are the ones that get those seats. Keep that in mind when getting ready for your sophomore year. But are there any limits? Just those handful of courses that are not available to you as a freshman. I guess that would be the only limits. I'm going to go to the spreadsheet for another question, then we'll go back to South Girard. See if I can give you a name. Couple of people. Let's see. Kamaya Robinson, Grayson Romaine. Your question was similar. Kanaya Hutchinson. Several people had questions that were similar. They were asking, what programs are in this building, in this new building, and why was this new building necessary. In this building, obviously, there's television production. I'm sitting in the studio now, okay? There's also all of our business pathways are now located in this building. Mechatronics is here. Engineering is here. Health sciences is in this new building, which includes sports medicine and EMT. I'm walking through the building in my mind. Computer science, the computer science pathway is available here in this new building. So the purpose of this building. In the original CareerTech building, which is located behind me, we still have culinary arts, cosmetology, and our shop-based classes, HVAC, welding, masonry, and carpentry, as well as auto tech. Those classes remained in the building because of the facilities, the cost of the equipment, the physical space that we had available here on campus. Those programs are still here. They remained in the original building. Those are the ones that are in this new building. Also, we have a good problem in Phoenix City Schools, and that is growth. Our classes, class size, your 8th grade class size, for example, it is much larger than the typical 8th grade class size. This year's freshmen, this is the largest freshman class that we've ever had in the history of Phoenix City Schools. So our population is growing. We ran out of room. Between the freshman academy and the high school, we ran out of classrooms. We needed these additional rooms so that we can spread out. We have some teachers this year floating, and now those teachers will have a permanent classroom. The classes that we left to come to this new building, those floating teachers will now have a permanent home that they can go to. So I hope that answers your question as far as what programs are in this building and why was this building necessary. I hope that answers your question. Let's go live to South Girard. If we have any other questions there, we'll take those. We'll come back to the spreadsheet and then we'll wrap things up.
My name is Markivia and I have a question. What happens when you only attend 3 years of JROTC?
If you only attend 3 years of JROTC, it's no big deal, but if you commit to that program, you do want to commit for 3 years so you get that certification. And by the way, you don't have to go to the military if you're an ROTC student. It is what it's for, but it's not what it's for. Taking ROTC can do a lot of things for you. It can help you get organized. It can teach you discipline. You can earn your PE credit by being in ROTC. You can earn your career prep credit if you don't already have it at South Girard. So if you get out after 3 years, it's no big deal. You've earned the certification, and then your senior year, you have just an extra period available for an elective. Let's do one more question because I think this is significant, and then I think South Girard, you guys are up against a class change. Let's see, DeMarcus Faison, you had a good question. How much does it cost to build the robots we saw earlier in this broadcast? Here's the good news. Robotics is free of charge. Free. It is an extracurricular program that's typically affiliated with our engineering class, but you don't have to be in engineering to be in the robotics team, okay? And robotics is free. The only cost that may occur is if we travel to Montgomery like we did earlier to compete, you may have to bring some money along to get yourself some lunch while we're there competing against other schools. That's about it.
3 more questions at South Girard.
We have time for 3 more questions at South Girard. Well, let's hear it.
My name is Josephine, and my question is, what careers do RDTV lead you to?
Excuse me. So Josephine, leads to what careers? Mr. Lorman, our television production instructor, is in here with us. He can correct me if I leave anything off. Every one of our programs up here has an advisory council that consists of people that are working in that industry. there are names and faces that you have seen at home on your televisions, WRBL, WTVM, CTV Beam. They are members of the advisory council for this program. So it's not guaranteed that it will lead to a career at one of the local television stations, but it could. It could give you a connection there. We had a young man that came through this program early on, really before it became a CareerTech thing. That young man took classes here. He got his training here. He spent a lot of time on his own working with the software, and he landed a job with War Eagle Productions, which is the television production portion of Auburn University. He has recently moved on from there to be the director of all production for Mississippi State University. All right, I've got a member of our advisory council that works for ESPN. So if nothing else, being part of television production could lead to networking for you. It could lead to a connection where you know a person, you know a name in the industry that could lead to anything from advertising to internet marketing to being in front of the camera to being behind the camera and producing segments. Hope that answers your question.
My name is Christopher McCain, and my question is, what type of objectives are we expected to complete in culinary?
Christopher, good question. So in culinary, just a reminder, it's not available until your sophomore year, but in culinary arts, you start off learning safety. All CareerTech programs start with safety. There's a safety pledge, there's a safety test. For any and all programs, you have to pass that safety test with a 100% accuracy. What happens if you don't? Well, then your teacher remediates you and you take it again until you do get a 100. Once you get that 100, you're allowed to get into what we call the lab. What does that lab look like? Well, in culinary arts, it's a kitchen. You're taught knife skills. You're taught the difference between a starch and a protein. You're taught sanitation. Of course, everybody wants to eat out of a clean environment. So those are the type of things that you learn first in the culinary program. Before you even start cooking anything, you learn to be safe, you learn to be clean. Those are the main objectives. And then you learn your way around the kitchen, and then you start getting into recipes, tweaking them and making them your own. Hope that answers your question.
My name is Andrew Weber, and my question is, do we have to take the safety course in order to take the automotive class our sophomore year?
Andrew Weber, I think I know you. To answer your question, yes. They're all programs. Auto tech, culinary arts, television production, even our business classes. It's a requirement under CareerTech that you do have to take a safety test. Now that safety test looks different according to the program that you're in. Obviously the safety test for automotive is going to ask you questions about tools, it's going to ask you questions about racks, it's going to ask you questions about oil, things like that. You're not going to have those kind of questions on your business safety test. That's going to be more along the lines of electrical outlet safety, you know, sanitizing your keyboard safety, those type things. But yeah, again, all CareerTech programs have a safety test that you have to pass with 100% accuracy in order to participate in the lab environment. That lab environment is different depending on the course that you're in. South Girard, we're up against class change. I would like to thank all of you, your teachers, your administration. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope that we have piqued your interest a little bit. I will be on campus next week along with Miss Allison Nicholas, the counselor from the Central Freshman Academy. Miss Sylvia Averett, the principal of CFA, may be there as well. Excuse me, but you'll have a chance to ask more questions if we didn't get to yours here today. Parents that tuned in, thank you for your time. We will be able to upload this broadcast later, make it available to you after the fact, possibly on our YouTube channel. Again, thanks for your time. Go Bulldogs, and we'll see you next year, Red Devils.